Thank you for tuning into the podcast, and thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Still rocking with us in 2022, and it's so amazing. We appreciate you. SS96 is putting out new merch and still has some of your favorites. Get your Executive Productions t-shirts, Swish Masters t-shirts, as well as Farm Raised Entertainment t-shirts. Don't forget to check out Straight Stoners music, as well as my own release under Executive Productions. It's available on all streaming platforms, and new music is in the works, so stay tuned. Go to ss96.net and use the promo code SWISHMASTERS to get this kind of merch today. Thank you all again. We're grateful. What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Swish Masters podcast. I am your co-host, the one, the only Zay, the executive producer.
I'm your co-host, Q the Guru. Zay, what's going on?
What's up, man? A lot of NBA action this week.
Yeah, a lot of NBA action. You know, we actually had some transactions that happened in the NBA. In particular, these two franchises are not doing too well. We had higher expectations for the Hawks and the Knicks since both of these franchises are failing. I guess a trade needed to be in order. So here's a trade. The Hawks sent Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill, and the 2025 second-round pick to the New York Knicks for Kevin Knox II and the protected 22 first rounder from Charlotte, via Charlotte. So, Zay, what do you think about this trade?
I think it's just an average trade. Somebody had to start the trade frenzy before the deadline. So Knicks and the Hawks, why not? Not doing so well. Let's shake it up. Cam Reddish is good. Solomon Hill, I haven't really seen him in the rotation for the Hawks this year. But I haven't watched a lot of the Hawks, to be fair. But I think it's cool. I definitely think that Kevin Knox is just kind of sitting on the bench for New York. Even though, to be fair, I think I gave him a hard time in past episodes. I think he's doing better as a player. But this trade wasn't really like shattering the NBA Twitter stream or anything. It was just kind of somebody makes a trade, let's try to do something. And these two teams, I guess we expected more from, but they aren't doing so well. So I think, but to be fair, I think the Knicks did get a good piece in Cam Reddish, even if he doesn't like really make a huge impact. He could be useful later. So that's my thoughts on it. What about you, man?
See, Zay, you're not getting the bigger picture here. You're not getting the big picture, man. So listen, the Knicks, so they got Cam Reddish and they got RJ Barrett already.
Right.
You gotta see the big picture.
I know where you're going with this.
You gotta see the big picture. This fits into exactly what I was trying to tell y'all and what everybody's saying out here. That Zion, who was in Portland again, away from the team, who may leave the team sometime soon and be a free agent and join who? Join his best buds from college, man. Join his best buds from college. And New York they're doing it, man. They piecing it together.
It's a Duke reunion.
This is the game plan. This is it.
Oh man.
This is it. Who's best to recruit Zion than to his buds from college?
That's a good point.
Just saying, I look at the bigger picture, man. So, but for real though, Hawks got fleeced. What y'all doing here? Y'all gave up a potential good player in Cam Reddish for Kevin Knox, who was fair. I mean, you haven't seen him much. Maybe he's improved. I don't know. He doesn't get enough playing time for me to know. So maybe he'll get more playing time with the Hawks. I don't see this trade improving the Hawks at all. The only reason I can see this improving the Knicks a little bit because of the potential of Cam Reddish. He has potential to be a great two-way.
Yeah.
He has that potential. And you just don't get a lot of return. To me, the Knicks are the clear winner And if this can eventually lead them to getting Zion, super winner.
I
Just gotta
mean,
look at the big picture, man.
I
You
said he
gotta
might
see how
be.
the dominoes is about to fall.
To be fair, I said he might be of use later. I didn't say how, but I figured, that could be a part of the recruitment, the Duke reunion. And I still think that getting Cam Reddish over Kevin Knox is a huge upgrade,
Definitely.
even if he doesn't get into the rotation as much. I feel like New York right now has a heavy lineup of guards and fours. RJ is obviously starting 2/3. You got what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Alec Burks. He
Yeah.
plays like a 2-3, but one. But I feel like he'll add to the rotation. And then who was it? Anthony Edwards actually said that Cam Reddish was one of the hardest guys for him to guard during college. So I think we clearly know that Cam Reddish has the talent. It's just a matter of how will he be utilized, I think. But
Right.
if
The Knicks are still missing that some valuable point guard play. I know they still got D Rose is still doing well, but Kemba Walker is not panning out to how they thought he would pan out. So they really need a better guard play. I mean, the one reason I would say it's always good to stock up on two ways and fours because you can utilize them anyway. It's okay to have more wings, especially in today's NBA. So I'm okay with them picking up Reddish. I'm okay with them picking him up.
Yeah.
But the Knicks really need to figure out how to fill that point guard spot. Maybe it'll be through the draft because it's not looking too good.
Yeah. And they have, like you said, Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, but both of them are dealing with injury right now. And you kind of need, honestly, I feel like you need a two-way point guard because the issue with when Kemba is playing well, he's scoring great, but if he's not doing that or he's hurt, they lack a defensive presence at that position still. So,
yeah.
We'll see how they, what they do to boost the team. We'll see. But I'm not mad at it. I want to see what happens really in the offseason with the whole Zion situation.
Yes.
And like we said, the trade deadline is coming up soon. We're still waiting on our boy Ben Simmons. So I want to see how it all goes. I want to see how it pans out.
We'll see. Speaking of him, the Hawks are really in the running for him too. So,
and maybe that's the move. Maybe they wanted to clear some roster space for Ben. I don't know. I don't know what it'll take to get him, but that would be interesting.
But I don't know. But at the same time, Cam could have been one of those pieces you could have gave up, in my opinion, to Atlanta. But I don't know. We'll see. I think it was just a move that was made in haste because both of these franchises are underperforming.
Yeah,
it's like you got to do. It's like you got to do something.
Yeah, you got to rejuvenate your team somehow. They both are kind of subpar this year, so
right.
It's understandable.
All right. So, if you were to grade the trade, what grade would you give it?
It's pretty middle of the way for me. C plus, a B minus if somebody can make a significant push. But right now, like a C plus, it's not really impactful to me.
Yeah, I don't see this trade impacting either team immediately. The only team I say they'll probably get minimum impact right now is probably the Knicks if Reddish pans out. So I'll give it a C.
I mean, I honestly think that Cam Reddish is going to play better than he did in Atlanta, being out of just in a new environment. You got your boy RJ back. Tom Thibodeau has a way of inspiring his players.
True.
So
True.
it could be good.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do. We'll see. We'll see. So, speaking of some young talent, this young talent right here, this young man is only 22 years old,
Young
but
buck.
he's already making NBA history. And if you follow basketball, you probably already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Luka Doncic. Luka,
Luka
Luka,
Magic.
Luka. I say his name 3 times because this man got another triple double.
Another
I
one.
mean, another one. And this
Okay.
puts him at 40 triple doubles.
You
40.
heard it right. 40.
40. So he's now one of 11 players in NBA history to record these 40 triple doubles. And when you think about team franchise, the franchise has 80. Like I just said, Luka got 40 of them. So this man has half of the triple doubles of the whole franchise for the Dallas Mavericks. Man, so Zay, what does this accomplishment say about Luka? And whether you rank him among like the young talent that we have right now?
Luka is extremely talented. I think that being able to have as much posture and poise in the game as Luka does is something that we don't see in a lot of 22 or younger players. For him to have 40 triple doubles, you know how hard it is to get one triple double in a game. I mean, to have 40 and you're 22 and you have half of your whole franchise's record of triple doubles, that's huge. Shout out to Luka, man. He's magic. He just hoops, man. I think that him growing up in Europe and balling in that league really helped him shape his game. I mean, not only does he get triple doubles, but he scores the ball like 6'7", 6'8", basically a point guard, small forward, if you want to like technically call it. He controls the game. He does pretty much whatever he wants to, and he's carefree, but he also is able to pretty much do what he wants. And once they get a really solid team around him, the Mavericks are going to be dangerous at some point. Just the fact that Luka can get 20, 10, and 10 in his sleep says a lot about him as a 22-year-old. He's for sure a superstar in this league, and I'm impressed. I mean, ever since he's came into the league, he's been making noise just every other week. I feel like there's a stat about Luka dropping 30 or 40 or triple double or something. So I think it just says a lot about who he is and how far he is going to go still.
Yeah, he has a lot of potential. He has potential to be the face of the NBA very soon. And he could get a lot better, especially who his coach is now, Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd had a lot to do with Giannis's development.
Absolutely.
So I can only imagine how much better Luka would be. And Jason Kidd is a point guard, so and Luka's a point guard. He can maybe unlock something else that he doesn't already have from Europe. So again, when he came into the league, he already had a swagger of a ball player. So I have a lot of respect for Luka. So this is a question now. So where does he rank among the top young NBA talent? His age and younger? I would say he's really he's definitely at the top. I guess the question right now would be who would you rather have? Would you rather have Luka or would you rather have Giannis?
That's not where I expect you to go with that question. Huh.
I mean, that's on I can't because obviously you probably thought I was gonna go like with Ja.
I thought you were gonna go Trae Young because
Trey,
of
oh
them
no,
being in the
good
same
point.
draft.
They are tied, but I'll definitely tell you Luka over Trey Young.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take right now. I'll take Luka over Ja, and
Really?
I would just because all around skill set right now.
Hmm.
I think Luka is a better passer than Ja. Ja has way more athleticism.
That's fair.
Shooting,
I think I'll give that to
offensive,
Luka.
yeah, but Ja has improved his shooting. But I don't know. Overall, I just give him the edge to Luka. I think also size wise, I think that's the reason why too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, when you have
they're both not great defenders. So it's
yeah,
like who's better offensively? It's Luka right now. So
that's fair. I think that him and Ja are potentially gonna be battling for like who's the best point guard in the league at some point.
right.
Um, but to answer your original question, do I take Giannis or Luka?
Yeah, and to be fair, it's probably unfair for me even compare the two because Giannis is a champion. So it's probably not even fair to compare. Not really.
I mean, I get the connection. Jason Kidd developing both. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I would take in this case Giannis
Mm-hmm.
just because of. I mean, even pre-championship, I think Giannis just has a certain dominance on both ends that we don't get out of Luka, and then and he's still improving as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were to put Giannis at age 22 versus Luka at 22, Luka is
Oh yeah, definitely.
way ahead of as far as his
Mm-hmm.
development, his game. Um, but I think, like I said, Luka's just different. He coming from Slovenia, like he was born ready. You know what I mean? Lance
Literally,
Stevenson
yeah.
style.
Yeah, literally born already.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's so with that, it's really not fair, but we're not really fair to compare him and Giannis. So I take that back. But I guess the effective comparison really is going to be Trey Young and Luka because they came in at the same time and we know what happened there. So right now, um, it's amazing how recency bias plays a role because before, Trey took his team further in the playoffs last year, but now it's like Hawks are out of contention basically, and at least the Mavs are in the playoff hunt right now. They're firmly in the playoffs as of right now. Their team is looking better than the Hawks are. Uh, it's tough. I think it'll go back and forth until one of them actually makes a good run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I
But
mean,
shout out to Luka.
shout out to Luka. The Hawks did make a huge turnaround last year, kind of during the middle of the season, but I don't know if they can do that at this point. And I think the East is still gotten a lot better this year. So I doubt that I'm not going to say they can't make it to the playoffs, but I doubt that they make a huge, like turnaround like they did last year. Went from like whatever, what are they now, like 11th to second, third in the East. I don't see that happening, but we'll see. But definitely shout out to Luka for the huge achievement. Triple double master, maestro. And I think that we're going to see this regularly from him in the next few seasons.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to Luka. I'm sure he'll eventually get his own statue in this to dirt if he continues to stay with the Mavs. So yeah,
That's also true.
all right.
I mean, he signed
So
a big contract. I don't see him going anywhere.
oh
Anytime.
no, not at all. So along also another NBA news, we also had a pair of injuries to some players on some really contending teams. Zach LaVine from the Bulls and Kevin Durant from the Nets. So Zach LaVine apparently has a left knee injury, but it has no structural damage. So he could return, fairly soon. The more significant injury, however, is Kevin Durant.
Yes.
So for Kevin Durant's injury, he has a MCL sprain, and he's expected to be out for at least from 4 to 6 weeks. So at least, and we know how those may go. He could take more. So immediate reactions to those injuries to these top two teams in the East.
Definitely hate that, both Zach LaVine and Kevin Durant suffered injuries. Injuries, it sucks, but they're part of the game. You just hate to see anybody get hurt. And two guys like this, especially, we all know that both of these guys have missed seasons because of significant injuries, and we hope for the best when it comes to rehabilitation, that they don't get re-injured.
Right.
I just hate to see it. I saw the play I didn't see what happened with Zach LaVine exactly, but I saw the one with Kevin Durant, and the positive thing is that when I saw his, he was able to at least put pressure on it. He didn't go down and couldn't walk off the court. He limped off the court, which is not good, but at least he's able to walk, or at least somewhat walk on his own. I just hope that they come back stronger, don't get re-injured, and just take their time. Biggest thing. I think for the Nets, they'll be okay because they have what I call this, luxury of having Kyrie, at least for road games. I think they're going to be on the road for maybe I think it was 11 out of the next 14 games. So that could be good to get Kyrie some time, get him, he gets more touches now, obviously with KD out, him and James Harden. Good thing for the Bulls is they have DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo. They still have a good team. I think Derrick Jones Jr. is out for them, but still they have most of their players, most of their core. I just hope that these guys are, just take their time. I mean, 4 to 6 weeks is what they're calling it, but if I'm the Nets, I'm taking my time with Kevin Durant. I think unfortunately we saw what happened when he got rushed into coming back, where he wanted to play and they just let him. Then he got the Achilles situation, and no one wants that situation at all. So I say just take your time. If it takes 2 months, so be it. And they still are in second in the East. I feel like they won't drop off significantly. If they do, they'll be fine because they're still very talented with Harden and Kyrie. So Bulls as well. Zach LaVine has already missed time this season, I think, with some minor injuries, and obviously COVID has shook up the whole league. But overall, I think it's good that I think both teams will be fine as far as impact.
Yeah. So yeah, both teams are dealing with some injuries right now, because Lonzo's also dealing with left knee, some type of knee soreness as well. Both teams are just really dealing with injuries. I think the Nets are still without Joe Harris as well.
I think Joe Harris is out for the season.
He is. Wow. That's something. And the Bulls are still without, Caruso.
Yeah.
So on both teams, but I guess it's the more significant injury is definitely Kevin Durant. Definitely take your time with him. Make sure he's ready to come back. Make sure you have all your doctors check him out, get second opinions, make sure he's straight and ready to play. Because we don't need anything to happen to him before the playoffs, especially this team is like a championship or bust team.
Yeah.
So basically it's like with schedule, who has the lighter schedule, but and like you said, fortunately the Nets are playing on the road. So that helps them out with Kyrie. So I think both teams will be okay because the schedule for the Grizzlies is not the Grizzlies, but the Bulls is pretty soft for the most part, based on what I can see. Most of these teams are not in contention right now. Teams like the Thunder, Magic, things like that.
Yeah.
So I think both teams will be fine. But unfortunate that these players had to suffer these injuries. And we'll see where they go.
Man, they need to go and find whoever Giannis's doctor was for past playoffs, because I thought Giannis was done for at least half of the season, and he came back and dominated. So
he did.
KD, Zach LaVine, anybody with knee injuries, go see whoever Giannis saw, because that was insane.
Basically.
Yeah. But for real, like I hope the best for those guys and hope they are, healthy, safe, come back soon.
Yeah.
Or in due time.
Right. So one of the big things that we both love about the NBA is how progressive it is. Especially, with everything we were dealing with last year as a community, from just from George Floyd and from all these different things that happened. The NBA has been really supportive of the Black community. And the support continues as they highlight MLK Day with some good basketball games. They always make sure to recognize Martin Luther King and what he's done. So, Zay, any thoughts on MLK Day in the NBA?
Yeah. I'm glad that the league has been active in community, not just for us, but everyone, every minority, and to highlight Dr. King on this day and having an annual game in Memphis is important for our, not just the Black community, but for everybody in the world, because Martin Luther King Jr. impacted nations with his approach to activism, being nonviolent, being peaceful. And obviously we all know the I Have a Dream speech. We all know about the marches. We all know how important he was during the civil rights movement. And I just love the fact that the league is very much progressive, always on the side of advocating for Black people, for people of color, all of that. It's awesome. And I've had the chance in the past to go to some games on MLK Day. And it's just awesome. So shout out to the NBA for always shedding light on these topics and for not shying away from it. Also shout out to the WNBA. I know they always year round just are doing advocacy for all different groups, all different rights. And I feel like the NBA is following suit as well, because like we said, that doesn't happen in every other league. I feel like this is significant because this is also a pretty much majority Black league. So I'm impressed. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, this is also another form of supporting the players as well. So shout out to the NBA. Love how support and progressive they are from everything. Thinking about all the way back to what happened in the bubble and everything, with but the players now want to play, but because of what happened in Wisconsin. So, yeah, I love the route the NBA is going. I love the stance they're taking. Because it's not easy. I'm sure it hurt their dollars some way for them taking these stances, but it's worth it. So yeah, shout out to the players. Yeah, we're thankful for Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and everything he's done. Because of him, we really do have the privilege of enjoying these rights that we have today. So yeah, thank you to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yep.
And a lot of respect to him. And to all the activists and others who are pushing it forward, because there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's really crazy to think about. Segregation was 60 years ago, if that. And just to know the impact that he had in the 50s and 60s still touches us today, and he is commemorated for it around his birthday. It's just amazing to see. Yeah. And like you said, the NBA definitely is probably impacted in a way, financially, or
for sure.
Just I'm sure there's some sort of clash or some like lashing out from some group, but the fact that they always take a stance, and even I think back when Trayvon Martin, that and how the NBA supported that, and how, like, in Miami, I remember this time he came out black hoodies. Like,
right, I remember that. Yeah,
I love that. I mean, it's really cool. Like, in not just in anything that you do, whether you're like in the NBA or just in a workplace, when you're whatever you do, whatever your company takes value in your values and your morals, and they don't shy away from situations like that. It's just a blessing to see, and I'm glad to see Dr. King's impact on our society in that way. So yeah. Shout out to Black people. Shout out to the King family. Shout out to the NBA. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and for them to stick with their decisions as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, huge shout out. Anything else? Say to the people.
I've got to say thank you to our sponsor, SS96, Straight Stoner himself. Shout out to my guy. We got some new work coming. He's got new t-shirts, new hats, new hoodies. You know what to do. Go get it. Use that Swish Masters promo code while it's hot. Get you some Swish Masters merch. I'm about to. Shout out to everyone who's listening, checking out the YouTube videos, leaving comments, everything. Glad to see it. Glad to be able to do this. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all. Please make sure to check out the YouTube page. You'll always see different clips and videos on that channel page. Check out our podcast where you catch on wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to share the content with your friends who love to talk hoops and basketball. All right. Continue to comment, like, share, subscribe, and all those fancy things. We appreciate you, people. We love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. This is Q the Euro. Sign off.
I'm Zay, the executive producer. Catch y'all later. Oh.